Hello everyone, it's Monday Gas Office, which means only one thing. It's Europe Day every Monday at Gas Office to have a look at weather for the coming week across the continent, and today is no exception. Now, before we get on with the Monday morning European outlook, just say about the as links to articles on all the pages at Gas Office. So you have a browse through the widgets and click through the links. You'll be happy to pay for the website. Thanks very much for doing that. Also got a weekend forecast just for the UK from Terry Scully, and you can find a link to that on the homepage as well, so have a look and see what Terry's predicting for the coming week if you would like to do that. Now, a couple of interesting points coming up this week for the continent. I think we're going to see some big thunderstorms across the Mediterranean, maybe first sort of autumnal storms down in the Med. And also, I think going to get the first push of cold air into Scandinavia and Western Russia later in the week. So winter probably beginning up in the far north and northeast of Europe, perhaps this week. So let's get on with it, and high pressure is going to be dominating through most of Europe actually this week. It's going to be a very quiet week for many parts. It's a big area of high pressure sitting here around the UK, stretching out in towards Germany, covering Denmark and much of Scandinavia as well. On the eastern side of that high pressure, we've got more unsettled conditions into the far northeast of Europe, and also risk of some thunderstorms, particularly in the southeast and southeast part of the Mediterranean. So it's already turned significantly cool across Scandinavia and northeast. From many eastern parts of Europe, actually, all that heat we had earlier in September has gone. Now we're in a significantly cooler northerly flow on the eastern side of this high pressure. It's warmer out to the west, but of course these are upper air temperatures. They aren't necessarily all that reflective of the temperatures on the surface for Ireland, the UK, France. Probably not as high with the temperatures on the surface as the upper air temperatures suggest. Still pretty warm through the southwestern part of the Mediterranean around Spain and Portugal. Excuse me. So here is the rainfall forecast for today. Loads of dry weather across most parts of Europe. It's dry pretty much from Ireland and Portugal in the west, right through to Poland in the eastern part of Europe. Many parts of Scandinavia away from the Baltic, dry as well. A few showers perhaps for parts of Finland and going down into the west of Russia. Morning wave showers through the Med, particularly in the southeastern part of the Med, so down across Greece. Those sort of areas could be seeing some big showers or thunderstorms today. And then through the central bowl of the Mediterranean, central basin of the Med, could be some thunderstorms there around the Balearic Islands, maybe a few for Corsica, Sardinia, southern parts of Italy as well. Spain and Portugal looking dry. Temperatures are lower now. So Central Europe, Germany, Poland coming out somewhere around 16, 17 or 18 degrees. Still not too bad for the end of September, but certainly a lot cooler in the east of Europe compared to what we had earlier in the month. Southwestern parts of France doing quite well, temperatures up to 25 degrees there, and it's still a pretty warm scene through most of the Mediterranean. Central Spain, probably that's around 27, that's 81 in Fahrenheit. High pressure continues to dominate through into the middle part of the week, across the north of Europe particularly, so a big area of high pressures in Med. To the south of that, we've got these easterly winds and increasing risk of showers or thunderstorms breaking out through the Med. Upper air temperatures looking quite cool in the north and the east of Europe, a bit warmer in the west. Not necessarily, again, reflective of temperatures on the surface, though, underneath this area of high pressure. And even in the Mediterranean, the upper air temperatures are a little bit disappointing probably this time of year. A lot of thunderstorms could be breaking out midweek through this central bowl of the Med. So big storms for the Balearic Islands signalled there, and for North Africa as well. So if you're off on holiday to Mallorca, Minorca or Ibiza, could be some big thunderstorms around through the course of the middle part of the week. And generally going over to the eastern part of the Med, there is the risk of showers in places as well. Further north of that, of course, we've got the high pressure, so loads of dry weather again across many parts of Europe. I can't name all the places that are looking dry, but again, basically from Ireland and Portugal in the west over towards Poland and even Ukraine in the east, it is looking mainly dry through the middle part of the week. Some showers coming to the far north of Scandinavia, far north of Norway and Sweden. Temperatures, well, sort of mid to upper teens, best we can expect, really. It's pretty cool in the east. You'll notice just 10, 11, 12 degrees here in the far east of Europe. Central parts of Europe, somewhere around the mid-teens Celsius. And then in the west, we're around 16, 17 or 18 degrees. Southern France again doing quite well at 22 is at 72 Fahrenheit. Will be cold nights under that area of high pressure with some early frost. The high is still there as we go through into the end of the week on Friday. Pressure again relatively low down through the Mediterranean. Notice it's also turning more active into Scandinavia, areas of low pressure starting to dig in, and with those areas of low pressure it will be turning colder with the upper air temperature. But -5 isotherm for the first time this season is beginning to dig down into the very, very far north of Scandinavia, so possibly some sleet or snow for, say, the far north of Norway and Sweden. Possibly. Many other areas just seeing rain coming through on a strengthening westerly wind. Elsewhere, a lot of warm weather with the upper air temperatures, or just, let's say, not particularly cold. Still the risk of violent thunderstorms through the central part of the Med, so again, around Mallorca, Minorca and Ibiza, the Balearic Islands, some thunderstorms there, possibly threatening the Côte d'Azur. Also, as we go through towards Corsica and Sardinia, few showers there, and then lots of heavy showers through Italy, particularly the mountainous areas, but this is suggesting really the whole of Italy at risk of some pretty violent thunderstorms and going into the Adriatic as well. Then that leaves most parts of Europe dry until running into this rain up across the far north of Europe, so coming through Norway into Sweden with showers through Finland and Latvia, and then going north of that there could be some snow showers coming into the very far north of Scandinavia. Many parts of Europe around middle of the week, still around the mid-teens Celsius, possibly the upper teens Celsius for some parts of the UK. Northern Germany could be up to 19, that's 16 Fahrenheit. You can't see it, but cooler air is digging in through the north of Scandinavia, and it's still pretty warm through the Med. I mean, going into next weekend, lots of uncertainty about next weekend. The charts keep chopping and changing, but the latest run when I'm doing the video of the GFS suggests high pressure clings on to the UK for probably breaking down into the following week, but cold air is digging into the far north and northeast of Europe. So the -5 iceberg is coming a little bit further south, cover central parts of Scandinavia and into western Russia as well by the time you get through to next weekend. That could bring the first wintry showers of the season into Moscow and possibly some central parts of Norway, Sweden and Finland. Further south of that, upper air temperatures suggesting relatively warm conditions, and maybe the warmth actually gathering through the Mediterranean. Still lots of dry weather. Showers, some of them possibly wintry across Scandinavia and into western Russia. I mean, loads of dry weather really until we come down in towards southern parts of France, where there could be some showers or thunderstorms there. And the storms are easing down through the central bowl of Mediterranean, so things begin to dry out as we get through next weekend into Med. But still some showers suggested for parts of Italy. This heavy rain down around the Canary Islands, which are just down here. I don't often talk about the Canaries, but they're just down there and almost off the chart. But that heavy rain could be threatening parts of Spain and Portugal, perhaps as we go in towards Monday the 5th and Tuesday the 6th of October. The temperatures finally at the weekend looking like this, so relatively warm, mid to upper teens Celsius, not too bad for early October, but it will be pretty cold across Scandi. So, in summary, well, loads of dry weather coming up this week, not a great deal going on, actually. High pressure going to be dominating. We'll have these violent thunderstorms over the central Med, and the winter of 2015-2016 starts to dig in this week across the north of Scandinavia, eventually possibly even getting into western Russia. That's all for now then. Have a great week, and thanks for watching. See you next